you at with expectations for Tylor Megill going into this season?
Sal, I think there's some raw material there where he could work in this new role, this new opportunity he's got. He seems to be in the right mindset to seize it, to seize a job in the starting rotation. He's a big guy. He's great at extension, so he gets what they like to call, Sal, perceived velocity on his fastball. But his fastball still gets hit a little bit because I think he gave up like a 314 average.
Isn't actual velocity better than perceived velocity?
Well, but if you're releasing the ball closer to the plate, then you should get some sort of advantage there. I feel like the American spork can help him in that regard, maybe make his fastball look even more imposing when he's really got it humming. Look, I think we're at a point in his career, though, where a reckoning is coming. Is he a starter? This is his year to prove it. If not, I think the Mets should, if he doesn't seize the job in the rotation that's open because of Senga's injury, I think the Mets should look into making him a relief pitcher. And that's not a criticism of Tylor Megill. I think it might be a best use of a resource.
Yeah, I mean, I look at him as someone who, he is physically imposing. He has these physical tools. He obviously has the height. He has that big hands, which I think will be really good for the splitter. Just in terms of deception, I like the fact that he was talking to Kodai Senga and asking for tips. I like the fact that he's consistently trying to improve. And we also have to remember that despite a lot of the trials and tribulations that he went through last year, he actually pitched pretty well in the last few months of the season. And so we're seeing, and this is the frustrating part about Tylor Megill, is that you see flashes of what he could be. He just never has seemed to put it together. If this can be the year, I think he's also incorporating a sweeper as well. If this can be the year where he has like a legitimate 4-pitch mix, where he can throw that splitter as a put-away pitch, I think the Mets might have something here.
They might, but that's the whole thing with Megill is might. And for me, I have to see him throw strikes to access that splitter first. Because having that splitter means nothing if he's not getting strike one and if he's not getting ahead on batters. Because that's a strikeout pitch. It's a chase pitch. It's not something that you get ahead with. He needs to throw strikes. And in his first spring start, he couldn't even access that pitch because he was throwing non-competitive pitches that were so far out of the zone, nobody was even swinging at them. So that, for me, is the big thing with Megill. You can't really reasonably expect anything more than, say, a 4.5 ERA at this point because he hasn't done better than that yet. So I think he's capable of it. He has the potential to do it.
Right.
But that's what we were talking about earlier about it's a maybe. It's a huge maybe that hovers over him every season.
The thing that would give me hope was the way that he pitched in 2022, filling in for DeGrom at the time who was down. Remember, he started opening day. He was good before he got hurt to a point where I'm thinking, man, this guy could be a mainstay in that rotation. Now I look at him, and Ant, you can tell me if this is unfair or not, although I am kind of intrigued by the potential that he has because of what he once did. He reminds me of Mike Pelfrey, and that's not a name that, well, I mean, he's got that size. Pelfrey was another one who at times looked good and then didn't, the inconsistencies. I mean, what do you think here? What are the projections here for Tylor Megill? Can he be a mainstay? Look, the Mets are going to need somebody. They don't have any young, controllable pitchers that can do it right now. He's got some experience. He's got the potential. Do you think potentially he's figured it out here and can be a mainstay in this rotation?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's at the front of the line of the guys who are going to sub in for Senga, so I think it's his shot to seize something here. And look, I mean, Will made some great points about the idea that what we've seen from him so far is not really the type of rotation mainstay that maybe the Mets are hoping for, that maybe we thought this guy might have been. But, like his expiration date hasn't happened yet. It's getting close as far as I'm concerned in terms of the starting rotation. But, you applaud a guy for looking for another pitch, another weapon to get him through, and that's what the American spork is. I like to see that flower a little bit more, and I like saying it, too.
Yeah, fun, right?
It is a fun pitch to say. The injuries, you hope he just stays healthy, and then you can figure out, and the Mets, more importantly, can figure out what exactly he is.